I want to get a gauge of when you guys think we're going to start to see where the real form lines are coming. It's like the autumn carnival in horse racing. You're trying to get the right form race to see where they are. Because let's go through this at the moment. Your top 8 currently is the unbeaten Bulldogs, Broncos, Storm, Warriors after that shocking performance in Vegas. Top 4, courtesy of a bye as well, but 3 straight wins. Rabbitohs, Seagulls, Raiders, and the Gold Coast. So this time last year, your top 8, 5 of the teams that were in the top 8 this time last year remained in the top 8. The Dolphins, the Raiders, and the Warriors dropped out. Yep. So are we going to start to see a bit more shaking up? Where do you think things sit at this point?
I think it's there's so many layers to it. You've got new combinations trying to be bedded down with some clubs. You've got huge amount of travel involved with some clubs. You've got serious injuries for some clubs, i.e. Manly and Turbo. And until it just levels out a bit, Mobsy, I still think we're still a month away before, outside of Canterbury, who are just on like a road train, just humming, I think it's all a little bit wishy-washy, to be honest. And I'm a byproduct of it. I'm running about second last in the tips. I can't pick my nose.
I reckon your top 3 are pretty solid. Bulldogs, Broncos, Storm, they're going to be there when the whips are cracking at the end of the year. The other 5, I think it's a bit of a lottery. You know, I had South and Manly in my 8, but I didn't have the Warriors, Raiders, or Titans in there. And I think those top 3, you can book them in, lock them in now. They'll be there at the end of the season. The others, who knows?
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Bulldogs, Broncos, Storm.
Yeah,
they'll be there.
Look, we didn't have high hopes for Parramatta this year and a transition year for Jason Riles.
Please.
I'm a sucker. Every year is going to be the year we break the drought. But who had Panthers and Roosters in your bottom 4 after 5 rounds?
No chance.
Roosters maybe.
Yeah,
Roosters maybe.
But not Panthers.
Well, they're always going to go through a tough period, the Roosters.
The bottom 4?
They go, well, if you'd said to me, if you looked at their draw though, before the season started, looked at their opening 7 rounds, I might have had. I didn't have them in the finals. I may have had them in the bottom 4 through the opening 7 rounds, just because their draw's so difficult early on. So that doesn't surprise me.
Right? Would you, question without notice, if you're the Roosters and you get to July and you're out of finals contention, your halfback
I know where this
Walker
is going.
comes back,
Go.
would you rest him for the rest of the year?
Well, I've said I would.
Round 12.
Cause some angst. Not round 12.
Yeah, well, this is where you need to define yourself.
Well, I'm talking
round 12's not July.
I'll give it round. That's about. I'd say round 20. If they're out of contention, round 20. Rest him.
I saw exactly what you meant on 360.
Thank you.
I was very unimpressed with the pylon.
Mate, it's been a smash up for 3 days.
Yeah, well, maybe.
And I've been misquoted, taken out of context. It's an outrage. Viewers, listeners, I was saying if they're out of finals contention and it's late in the year when he comes back, don't bring him back. That's all I'm saying, okay? Get him ready for 2026. Let's clarify this.
What about the whole, let's think of the sponsors. I'm sure the sponsor's going to come back and go, hey, thank you for finishing 14th this year instead of 15th or 16th. I'd rather you get ready for the next year.
I will say this, and I don't mind where you're coming from, but I will say
Thank
this.
you.
There's something to be said about getting his confidence back in the final 4 rounds, knowing he's had 4 games under his belt, coming into round 1 next year.
You reckon?
Yeah, I do. That's why I just said it.
What would 4 rounds 3 months ago have impact on him in round 1 the next year? I think if he has a big...
Because the Ks are under the belt. You know you've done your defensive stuff. You know you've got some plays on. You know you're going to hit the ground running.
He's a young bloke. He's got 10, 12 years left of his first grade career. Actually, if you're Daly Cher Evans, he's got 15 years left of his first grade career. Why would you bother risking him if your season's over?
Yeah.
Which I think their season, come round 20, their season's done. They are not playing finals footy. As I said, they could be 1-6 in 2 weeks. They've got Brisbane and Penrith the next 2 weeks. Right? There's every chance they're 1-6. They are not making the finals.
You are
from there.
talking like reconstructive torn ACL knee surgery is some type of sewing method and stitching method. It's high technology these days, and the rate of double knee reconstructions.
Okay.
But in saying that, you have a look at the guys at Parramatta, Bailey Simonson. They're bringing him back very slowly. Couple of games in reserve grade.
Is that his third though?
Yeah.
Third?
He's had a couple, and this is the issue, right? Richard Penasini coming back through Jersey flag because they want to, and Jason Riles bringing people back very slowly, very
They
carefully.
might bring Sammy back for a cup.
meticulously.
Imagine that. Imagine if he cut, please.
They might be in running for
Listen,
finals
look,
in Cup. Who knows?
There's a bit of mail going around that there were some people who thought who are in the close to the walk, close to Sam, close to the Walker camp, who thought he should have been held back for 2026. That's all. That's why I aired it, and I don't disagree with them. Right? I don't necessarily think it's wrong. It depends. Again, it depends when he comes back and what their position is on the ladder. But they haven't. I'm told, and I think Paul Crawley mentioned this the other night, that with some players at the Roosters, they've given them 12 months to get over knee reconstructions. Now, if it's 12 months, he doesn't play again because that's the end of August.
Yeah.
And as I said, they're not playing finals footy. If it's 10 months, well, that's the end of start of July, mid-July. Why would you bother?